All right, how is everybody doing today? My name is Peter Del Tondo, and I am your host for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenges. I am so excited to be here with you all today. And let me make sure I've got the live chat up over here so we can see who is joining us. Let me turn off the sound there. So many pre-flight checks. Live chat is like the most important one. All right, so we've got Eric, Julie, Laura. Laura, I've been really enjoying all of your challenges. So thank you for, you've been super diligent. Every day I've been seeing them come in. Appreciate you tagging me. And I've got a couple to share. There were some excellent ones from Charisse and Bree last night that we reviewed on the stream. Absolutely incredible work. So really excited to see what everybody has been cooking up on these challenges. It has been fantastic. We got Jacob, Julie, Cornell, Julie, I owe you a Dropbox folder. If I did not already send that earlier, I have that for you. It'll come right after the stream here today. All right, so let's jump into some stuff. We've got some exciting things to cover today. We're going to be talking about scroll groups, which is one of the newer features here in Adobe XD, and it's pretty darn cool. It's a really neat way to be able to showcase your prototypes. And again, just like XD has this capability of creating the illusion of a realistic deployed design, and I think that is the coolest thing. So let's check it out. Come on over here to my screen. Let me make sure I've got my OBS. All right, so if you come on over here, first and foremost, I know it's day 8. We've got 9 days in this challenge in total, or 9 challenges within this 10-day period. Tomorrow will be our last, but don't worry, I'm back. I think September 18th, I'll be doing another series here. But come on over, behance.net/challenge/XD, and you can jump right in. We're going to be kind of building, I guess, on top of a previous challenge, but if you want this challenge to take more than 30 seconds, I kid you not, 30 seconds, then start the challenge fresh. It'll maybe take you 25 minutes and 30 seconds to do this challenge. This is a really simple one. I'm actually going to build up a couple of things with it because it's literally going to take me 30 seconds to show you how this works. It's a really cool feature. Also, thank you all for tuning in on YouTube. We do read the chat over here on Behance, so make sure you check us out, behance.net/live, and that's where we'll be engaging with chat and responding over there. All right, so each and every day, head on over here to behance.net/challenge/XD, and right here, number 2, community chat is going to be pivotally important. We use that XD Discord for everything, and I'll walk you through that next. But each and every day, if you missed a day and you're like, whoa, Peter, you just blew my mind. This was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well, don't worry. There were 8 other days that you can jump in here and check out those challenges. So come on back. You can click on Get Started, and there's no background music. Let me hit play there. Raise that sound. Hopefully that's a little bit better. All right, you can come back and watch the pre-recorded videos each time, so that'll be helpful for you as well. So you can check those out and tune in and catch up, and again, work on some of these other challenges. So we're actually going to revisit day 1's challenge today, and again, this could probably apply to a couple of the other challenges that we worked on too. So take a look, see what you can do with some past challenges, apply the logic and learnings that we're going to do today, and then maybe check out some new stuff and see what else you could do with this once you know how to utilize stacks. All right, scroll groups. So come on down here, click Get Started. Next, I'm going to take us over here to the current challenge channel. There's a bunch of challenges over here on the side. Current challenge is where myself and the other mentors, we've got Elise, Joss, and a bunch of other folks. This is where we go to review your challenges every week. So make sure you drop your project in here, send us a link to your Behance profile and upload that project, drop in a video or whatnot, and we'll check that out. Every couple of days, I will go live on my personal Behance page, behance.net/Peter Del Tondo. Follow me there, you'll get an alert when I go live, and I will go through and I will review every single one of the challenges here in the channel. And it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of engagement last night. had Bree and Charisse in there. We're going through a couple of their projects. Some super talented ladies working on some really cool stuff. So make sure you join me for that. I know Erin was in there too, and Joe. We went through some of Laura's projects. Come hang out. It's a good time. And I'll review for like an hour or so and let you know what I think of the projects, ways to improve. And if I see something, I'll kind of recreate and break it down for you and try to help out. So without further ado, I've been trying to stall because this is a really quick lesson, everybody. This is gonna be an easy lesson for today. So I'm gonna come in here and let's go to, I'm actually gonna copy over this challenge. So I'll just copy this and then let's go to day 8 and I'll bring this over in a second. So today we are talking about scroll groups, and what scroll groups, I can speak, are, to give you a quick kind of very basic understanding, is let's say I have 2 objects or multiple objects. Actually, I think I know what I'm gonna maybe do afterwards. Is say you might have things like this, and I'm just going to grab an arrow just to kind of illustrate the point of how this works. Let's just grab give me something larger. Just want a straight up and down arrow. Here we go. Okay, so I've got something like this. I'm going to make this quite a bit bigger so we can all see it. All right, so scroll groups are where we are literally going to be able to scroll just within this isolated area. So say like the sidebar navigation of something, or maybe we come over here and I want to scroll just within the individual sections of an item, or of a group of items, I should say. So this allows us to interact directly with these groups. However, it's not going to scroll up and down the entire page. It's just going to work within those given areas. And so this gives you a lot of control to be able to do different things and prototype differently than you could in the past. Before, you had to just kind of scroll all the way down if something went really long on the side of a page, or scroll off to the side, or just simulate it by cutting things off. But now you can actually showcase that a little bit more. So it's a really, really cool feature to be able to do. So we'll go over that a little bit more. So today we are going to design an interactive and scrollable roadmap for a project tracker using scroll groups. And now we've already done this on day 1. So if you did that challenge, you've got this in the bag, because it's literally going to take you 30 seconds to click 2 buttons and be done with this challenge. So we'll make it a little bit more complex, and I'll give you something else to maybe work on afterwards. And then when you're finished, go ahead and share this, use the share tab up here and create a link and send that in as well. So I want to make sure you understand how to use the share feature as well. All right, so coming down here, let's kind of review. If you didn't do the previous challenge, this is kind of what we're going to be creating. We want to have a roadmap, or like a Gantt chart, essentially, of a breakdown of tasks and timeline of what our project might be, showcasing things like maybe design and development and photography or whatnot, bringing all these things kind of full circle, and then being able to scroll through within that. So let's hit paste over here, and I'm going to grab what we had before. And as we can see, we've got a couple of sections here, and I don't know why I'm missing some text there. That's okay. I'll fix that. Looks like it's behind or something. But anyways, we can see these items. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab another one of these. I'm going to move that down over here. Let's grab this as well. We'll put that right there. And I'm intentionally trying to create more space so that these fall off of the page. There we go. So we can see the length of these items. I just want to make each of these longer so we have more scroll area. Oops, I picked the same one. Perfect. Okay, so now I've got a lot more area to scroll through. So what I want to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create this to be a scroll group. And so let's see, let me grab one of my other files. Got this right here. my original wire, replace this. All right, so what I can do now is I can grab this group, and I'm literally just gonna click this button here, and this is gonna say horizontal scroll. So I grab that area, and now I can set within this space, kind of like you do with repeat grid, how far I want to have that scrollable area. So I could make this smaller, and I can then just scroll side to side within here. Or in this case, I'm gonna make it the length of the page, and that's gonna allow me to scroll side to side. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So I've got this so that it's longer, and I've just repeated some content for sake of ease. And I wanna be able to come in here now and say, I want this to be a vertical screen, and I want this to go up and down. So after I get to say this top section, or maybe I want it to cut off a little bit more, and then I wanna end it right here. When I now go into my prototype mode, I can scroll up and down within here. And so we see everything else is staying consistent. And when I come over here, I can also, I'm in this case, clicking and dragging here, but I can just move this stuff around. And so I can play around with that timeline. So I probably want to add things like a calendar up top here and showcase the dates, but I could really easily just cycle through and be like, all right, I see what's going on this month. What's happening next month? I want to see what that would look like as well. So lots of really cool things here. So let's, since we've got a ton of time, let's go over this one more time and let's build something out very simplistic. But let's do something else with this kind of thought process. So maybe what I want to build, I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to create a new artboard, and I'll do a web 920, and let's create something. I've been kind of consolidating hard drives and stuff recently. So I've been doing a lot of like photography, duplication finding. I've been working on, face detection and gathering photos of family members and organizing all of that. And so what I could do here is I could actually create, let me go into my plugins, cool. I've got my user profiles, and I want to come in here now and I'm going to create some images of people. And I'm going to create, let's go over here. I'm going to just make this dark so I can see it. Let's create a little menu over here, and I could do something, again, I'm going to keep this really, really simple, but I might do something like albums. And I'm going to have this be a good bit larger. Let's do 32. We'll go bold. And I'm not worried so much about the design here. I'm just going to kind of build this out a little bit just so we can see how this all works. And maybe I'm going to do this next by, I'm going to go by years or something like that, but we can just create album names. So we'll do album name here. I'm going to do a quick repeat grid. And as we can see here, I could have this really, really long list of album names. And then I could come in here and I could do things like 2020, 2019, 2018, etc. I'm not going to keep going because I don't want you to watch me just type for the next 4 minutes, but you get the idea of where that is going here. All right, so, and maybe what I want to do too is I want to create a little bit of separation. So maybe I would create something like this, where I'm just going to do a real quick, like 1 pixel line at the top. That'll give me a little bit of separation with that. So I could have albums, or maybe I put up here, I could do something like this. This isn't perfect, but we're working really quickly on the fly. Do something there, and then I could do something like, just say add new album. Again, don't judge me for full UI stuff. This is more of like a wireframe to show how this is, which, you know what, if we're wireframing, let's drive some people nuts. Let's go with my favorite wireframe font, Comic Sans, because now I can stop thinking about the design and I can just focus on building this thing out. So I'm going to come over here now, and I want to set up some avatars for individuals. All right, so I'm going to do something like this, and I can say, I'll do one for Peter. Bring this down. And maybe we'll say Peter, and then we could do something like 820 photos. And for real, I do like using Comic Sans for wireframing. Let me explain why before the judgment gets too critical and chat gets out of control. Is I like the fact that I can't take it seriously from a design perspective. So I literally can now stop. As you guys saw, I was sitting there trying to kind of design as I went. I switched to Comic Sans. It looks so bad. All I can think about is functionality and layout, and I kind of stop thinking about it. So I know it sounds funny. I know it sounds weird, but it's literally what helps me kind of get through that. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to set this up. I've got this grouping. I'm going to once again create some sections here. So maybe I'll do something where I want to have it where it's like, let's see, recognized faces, and we'll bring this down. Whoops. We'll bring this down. That is not what I want to type. 16, okay. And so I'm going to have a section for these, and then maybe I want to have another section down below, and this is like faces to organize. And then let's do one more section, and we'll do it like can't or undetectable. And that just means like maybe it's not a good enough copy or something like that. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to bring these items down. I'm going to set these up again. I'm not worried about my spacings and alignments and stuff like that. And I'm going to grab this. I'm going to repeat grid, and I am going to just keep going. And then I'm going to space these out. I'm going to move these out kind of nicely, give them a little bit of room. We'll go like 40 pixels. All right, nicely done. I'm going to ungroup that. I'll actually group it. I'm going to repeat grid that, and we'll do the same thing here. Repeat grid, and ungroup, group, and one more. All right. Excellent. So next I want to come in here, and I'm going to just quickly select all of these. So I mess up one, of course. Actually, let's do this a faster way. Let's ungroup that. Ungroup. Great. So now I'm going to come in. I'm going to fill these with various user images. Okay. And I'm going to do, as I keep accidentally grabbing that, let's grab these, fill with images. All right, and I am using the user images plugin, and this is just quickly generating those filler images for me. All right, great. So now I'm going to come back, and ideally, again, for pace at the moment, I'm just going to leave the names the same, but I'm able to really quickly group these things up. And we are off to the races. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm going to just change up some of these colors a little bit just so this stands out a little. We'll go with something kind of in the blue zone. All right, so we've got this here now. So what I want to do, again, is I'm going to come in and I'm going to select this as a vertical scroll. And I won't include that at the moment, but I've got this. That's going to show my scroll area. And then I'm going to come into each of these sections, and I am going to do a horizontal scroll. And I could decide if I want it to cut off here, or maybe I want it to cut off like right on that line. I don't know how that'll work, but let's try it out and see what that looks like. And I want to make sure that it's cool. It's cutting off right there as well. All right, so I've got several sections here now and different ways that I can interact with this. So let's take a peek once again. I'm going to come over here and now I can see I've got my scroll. I'm able to, I know it's a little harder to see without some of these names changing. That's why you should use real text and not lorem ipsum or just copy things across the board, because it creates this confusion that you're seeing now. But I can come over here and I can just scroll up and down with my mouse and see this information and see this filler. Then I can come over here and I can scroll through this. And I want you to think about, like, what are the different applications that you could do? In this case, it could be something like facial recognition or album galleries, video galleries. It could be utilized to mock up something like browsing Hulu or Netflix or a Plex server or kinds of different things with that. It could be an iTunes or audio, music, video library. YouTube. I mean, there are so many things that you can now prototype like this, that once again, for me to be able to show this to a developer and come in here and look, I can move these things all at the same time. All of these are interacting independently of each other, but I'm on one screen in one prototype. And this is the kind of thing that's really cool with XD, being able to prototype your work like this, that in my opinion, it really makes it stand out, and how you build these things out is just kind of endless in terms of possibilities. So I want to take a second and pause here in the chat because we have more time than usual. I can do another example of this here in a second, but does anybody have any questions around this or some other things that you want to talk about here on the stream? But let me know, and let me make sure that everybody is understanding the concept of this. So while I'm going to watch chat in a second, I want to come back over here and just show one more time. The way you turn this on and off is to come over here on the right hand side. You see these indicators directly underneath, like your X, Y, and width and height. And you've got the option for horizontal scroll, vertical scroll, and you can even do something that is both horizontal and vertical scroll. And where that could be used is, let's come on over here. Let's go to maps.google.com. And I don't want people to know where I live. So let's come over here. I don't know, Mount Graham. This is great. So we are going to come in over here to a really non-busy area. Let's go down to, where are we? Is this Mexico? Yes. Okay, let's go into Phoenix. Let's go into a big city. So something like this. Great. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take a photo of this area. Okay, and let me copy that in the browser. I'm going to copy that image. And let's come back over here. All right, so once again, I'm going to pick a device. Let's just go with this Apple device. All right, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place this right here. And now I'm going to select this item and I'm going to say fix position and allow it to scroll within here. And now we can see the image as we see as I'm pointing at my screen, like you can see it, the hairline blue around everything. What's really cool about this is now if I switch into prototype mode for this, is that I can pan around within this. So here I could actually simulate what it would look like if I needed to come in here and move around. In this case, it's not just up and down, but I can go side to side, diagonally, etc. And this allows me to take a look at the things that are going on and actually interact and prototype. So you could send somebody a prototype to look at and go, hey, find your way from point A to point B on this map, and they can literally sit there and scroll as long as your image and graphic is large enough. So there's a lot of cool features and things that you can do here with scrolling groups. And so I'm really curious to see what you all do. Again, this is a really easy lesson if you've done any of the other challenges, because you can utilize this quickly. Again, it's just a couple of clicks. So I'd love for you to upload a video in the XD Discord later so that we can check it out and see and make sure that you've got it working correctly. But feel free to explore and do something beyond just utilizing one of the previous challenges. Maybe build something out if you're a big movie or TV buff. Build something out that shows scrolling through a library or through music or something like that. So pick something that you're passionate about that's going to get you excited to design today, and we'll take a look at that later on the streams. With that, make sure you all stay tuned for the next segment today, and I will catch you tomorrow. We've got one more challenge to wrap up the week. We'll have a lot of fun on that one tomorrow. Until then, everybody stay safe and healthy.